Hey group leaders, Pastor Ryan here. Thanks for checking out this month's group leader training video. This month's video is on location because most videos won't be made in my office, but with VBS starting today and the decorations taking place in the worship center, I decided to kind of get out of their way and record in here. Our first official training video is all about how to stay healthy as a group leader. It's incredibly important that our group leaders remain spiritually healthy because spiritually healthy leaders lead spiritually healthy groups. And if you happen to fall into unhealth in some capacity, more than likely that's going to affect your group as well. So let's dive into 3 quick ways that we can stay healthy as a group leader. Number 1, prioritize your own personal relationship with Jesus. When it comes to leading a group or facilitating some sort of curriculum or study, it's pretty common for group leaders to actually lean so heavy on the curriculum or material that they're using that they end up leveraging the material as their own personal quiet time. And there are really pros and cons to this. The pro is, and I would support this position, that you as a group leader need to have whatever you are teaching to affect you personally before it can affect anyone in the group that you're leading. The passage, the text, the verse, that needs to sit on your soul, and that needs to be something that you go before the Lord and study personally. So there's a benefit to really digging in personally to whatever it is that you're teaching. The con is that sometimes when that occurs, we end up leveraging our curriculum or our material or our study as the only time that we spend with Jesus. And what happens there is that when we attempt to leverage that time as our only time with Jesus, then we're really just checking a box and saying, well, I'm with Jesus because I'm prepping for my group. In reality, our service to leading a group should be out of an overflow of our own personal walk with Jesus. So while I highly recommend that you dig deep into whatever it is whatever the material is that you're teaching or you're leading your group through, you need to dive into that personally so it affects you before it affects your group. I would also incredibly encourage you to make sure you are prioritizing other opportunities to be with Jesus. Moments of silence or solitude, going out for a walk, being maybe involved in something else on the side, maybe a devotional or just your own personal Bible reading that prioritizes your own personal relationship with Jesus. When we put our relationship with Jesus to the side and then we just do work for Jesus but not be with Jesus, it can really lead to some unhealthy patterns. And one way that we can maintain our health as leaders is prioritizing our own spiritual walk with Jesus. Number 2, take breaks. You don't have to lead every group every single week, every week out of the year. As some of you are watching this right now, I'm very aware that your group is actually taking the summer off for a variety of reasons. Maybe it's travel, maybe it's just availability, whatever the case may be. You're taking a summer break. That's perfectly fine. I encourage you to take breaks, to take a rest. There's really 2 benefits to taking breaks. One is just the reality of taking a break, getting rest, recovering, recouping, like taking some time to not have to put forth all the effort into prep or study. Take a break. It's always referred to as in the creation account that God himself took a break. He takes a day of rest. Now God didn't need to, but he gives us that as a design to take a day of rest. You too, as a group leader, should not run yourself into the ground doing everything for every time your group meets. Take a break. You are human, you have limits. Get some rest and come back to it. The second thing that this helps, the second reason this is really beneficial for your group is that as you take breaks, you can have someone in your group fill in for you. And when you do that, you're actually providing on-the-job training for someone who could be a potential new group leader down the road. It's really a great pipeline to have new group leaders available as we roll out the potential new groups that we want to roll out. We have people who've taken a week or 2 or maybe 3 weeks and led a group that they're in, even though they're not the primary facilitator of that group. Because their leader took a break, they opened the door for someone else to step into an opportunity that they typically wouldn't just step into like cold turkey. They already know the group, they already know the material, and they're comfortable enough to take the step out and lead while you, the group leader, are taking a break. It accomplishes two things. It allows you the opportunity to get some rest and to stay healthy, and it allows someone else to step in and potentially step into a new role as a new group leader down the road. Kills two birds with one stone. And third, communicate frustrations. We are all human, and we all have things in our groups that frustrate us. Maybe it's particular personalities, or maybe it's particular comments, or maybe it's just the relational dynamics that are present in your group. There are some things that are just frustrating. I lead two groups. One of my groups is on a break right now during the summer, but sure, there are things that happen in both of my groups that can just kind of get under my skin a little bit. The problem is when you don't communicate those frustrations and you allow them to kind of fester and you allow them to kind of take root in your heart, because that leads to bitterness, that leads to anger, that leads to impatience. And these are none of the things that we want to exhibit as group leaders. We're all human, we're not perfect, we're going to make mistakes. But if we hold in those frustrations and don't communicate them, then it leads to greater problems down the road. And it can lead to us as leaders being unhealthy. So I encourage you, if there's something that's going on in the life of your group that is just really cooking your grits, like it's really getting under your skin, come talk to me about it. I can't guarantee that I can bring a solution or resolution to any sort of problem that you might be facing, but what I can do is I can listen. I can sympathize and empathize with the fact that you are doing your absolute best and there's something going on that is just getting under your skin. Oftentimes it's not necessarily the solution that is the most helpful. It's just the opportunity to unload whatever the thing is off your shoulders. You weren't meant to carry that all on your own. And while it should be a matter of prayer, again, in your own personal walk with Jesus, it should also be something that you are comfortable bringing to the table to go, hey, this is really frustrating me, and let's talk it out. Maybe there is a solution that we can come up with. Maybe it's over coffee, maybe it's right here in the office, maybe it's out for lunch somewhere. But don't hold it in. Holding it in can lead to a real pattern of unhealth. And if we want to maintain our spiritual health, we're going to have to communicate our frustrations. So there you have it. 3 quick ways to maintain spiritual health as a group leader. Now this list isn't exhaustive by any means. You could add a number of things to it. But 3 quick things to help you maintain your spiritual health. Prioritizing your relationship with Jesus, taking breaks, and communicating frustrations. Thanks again for so much that you do for your group and for our church. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.